private sector. It is in the spirit of this that we have used this opportunity to send out open invitations to all Nigerians that this Senate will continue to engage and for us to bring forth ideas to make Nigeria better. Since our inauguration, we've been inundated with complaints from people on the rising level of violence against women, sexual harassment, and this 8th Senate has been coming up with proposals that will not only help to eliminate these areas and ensure perpetrators will not longer have where to hide. We are determined to ensure our women, our children, and the vulnerable in our society, irrespective of age, status, and ethnic background, live in a safe and fulfilling environment. Distinguished senators, permit me to seize this opportunity to formally congratulate Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari on the one-year anniversary of his government and also commend him for his great achievements he has recorded on several fronts. We are all grateful, Mr. President, Boko Haram, a mindless terrorist group that once threatened our corporate existence as a country, has been severely degraded. I also commend the President for his bold and courageous fight against corruption, which has manifested in improved probity and accountability in the operation of government business. On our part, and in keeping with our pledge to support the anti-corruption crusade, this Senate, within this period, carried out oversight investigations into notice abuse in the implementation of the Treasury single account, saving government over 20 billion, and the implementation of importation waivers and duty policies of government, and the latest NAITI report detailing among us levels of corruption, totaling over 3 trillion naira. All these and many more system leakages we must do in our power to expose. Our anti-corruption agencies must double their efforts as ensuring that these kind of wholesale abuses are no longer part of our governance history. This is what the anti-corruption must be about. However, it must be important that as we move forward in this fight, considerable attention is paid to strengthen the anti-corruption agencies to enable them to discharge their functions with greater efficiency and fairness. We want to assure Mr. President that this Senate will continue to play its part in the fight against corruption, which we believe is cardinal in our desire to improve governance in our country. We will also continue to broaden the scope for increased openness, accountability that we promise at the legislative level. While government has made progress in the fight against corruption, in the fight against Boko Haram, and in the fight against corruption, the fight against mass poverty remains a daunting challenge. Rising costs of living, increased cases of retrenchment, and corresponding rise of unemployment, inability of state governors to pay salaries, upsurge in ethnic-based agitation, potentially denies government the full credit of the great strides he has made in other areas. That same energy has been invested in fighting corruption in Boko Haram. We must all invest that in taking care of our people, in making life easier and better for them. We need to begin to assure Nigerians that the sacrifice that they make today will not be in vain. We need to begin to show them that there will be light at the end of the dark tunnel. So we must not relent in our efforts in this area over the next years ahead. These are serious challenges that require all hands on deck. There's no other time in our history than now when the business of government needs to be conducted with greater inclusiveness. We must find a way to bring the best brains in our country on board wherever they may be found. Even those who do not vote for us but believe in change that we all believe is necessary to move our country forward should be given a seat at the table. If we're able to mobilize the best human resources that God has bountifully blessed, I have no doubt that God on our side we shall overcome. I cannot end this address without a note on the ongoing security challenges we are beginning to witness in the Niger Delta area of our country. We urge the Maori militants to embrace our democratic institutions, challenge their grievances through appropriate quarters. As we can ill afford further damage to the ecosystem of this important region and many more disruption in the system. We encourage government to adopt dialogue and engagement as a more lasting option and call on our leaders and those of our leaders in the chambers here also to play our part in ensuring that this matter is brought to an end. We know the government's plan to invest 500 billion in social protection programs in the current budget. We want to urge the government to ensure that appropriate mechanism is devised that will ensure that the benefits of these programs get to those who genuinely need. We are confident that 1 year after, Mr. President by now have a better clarity on the capacity of his appointees. This Senate will not hesitate to hold any appointee accountable for the work he has accepted to do. We would like to seek Mr. President's support and cooperation to enable us to discharge this oversight task. Distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, over this last 1 year we have charted a new course and a new direction for lawmaking, one which has placed emphasis on leading by example. We have adopted the Open NAS initiative, which is aimed at deepening our people's confidence in our activities by reducing bottlenecks and opening the National Assembly to greater public engagement and scrutiny. In this instance, we expanded opportunity for greater interaction with the public beyond snippets of reporting to full real-time plenary activity broadcast on broadband, the first of the kind in Africa. For the first time, we have broadened budget consideration engagement, incorporating civil society, NGOs. Distinguished ladies, distinguished colleagues, let me assure you once again that as representative of the people, the Senate will not relent in an effort to continue to give voice and vent to those issues that mostly concern the people. The people of Nigeria must see the Senate as a place to run to when they feel treated unjustly. This Senate has the capacity to bring to end the culture of impunity in this country, and we must let everyone realize at the time when anyone can deliberately violate the right of any Nigerian citizen, any Nigerian woman, any Nigerian child, and nothing will happen, it's gone. There must be consequences for child abuse, there must be consequences for sexual harassment, unjust dismissal, consumer rights violation. These are the standards that the rest of the world will use in judging us as a society of civilized people and of law. Dear colleagues, even as we continue to focus on these big things that we have not achieved, we must also have the courage to celebrate the things that we have achieved. 1 year ago, this Senate appeared irreparably divided against itself. Today, we have overcome that division and we're able to work with greater unity and fraternity. I want to commend every one of us for this. On our side in the leadership, we would like to assure you that we'll continue to ensure fairness and justice for every senator and continue to work to protect and preserve the dignity of the Red Chamber. Distinguished senators, ladies and gentlemen, permit me once again to thank you for the unalloyed support I have and continue to receive from you in the last 1 year. This has been unprecedented, and I don't take it lightly or for granted. This unique support has been steady, bipartisan, and unconditional. Your support has been the bulwark bone which my belief in the emergence of a greater Nigeria rests. Your support has meant everything to me, and I'm more than ever determined to play my role as a leader to see the emergence of a more vibrant National Assembly, playing its constitutional role without fear or favor. I congratulate all of you once again for all that we have achieved in the last 1 year. I am confident that when the history of this era is written, all of us will be amply remembered as a generation that played its part and did its best to make Nigeria a better place. God bless the Senate and God bless Nigeria. Thank you and God bless. Deputy Senate President.
Your Excellency, the President of the Senate, my very dear colleagues, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, let me congratulate you on this anniversary of your first year as President of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Chairman of the National Assembly. But before I proceed, I would like to thank Almighty God that has made this possible for all of us to be assembled here today through His mercy and His grace. Your Excellency, I congratulate you because of what you stood for.